Hi, my name's Allie Cascaro, and I'm the City of Spokane's Water Stewardship Program Coordinator. The Water Stewardship Program encourages citizens to use our water wisely by promoting aquifer awareness and water-wise practices. But the Water Stewardship Program isn't just about water conservation. It's about using our water resource in the best possible way. Today we're in the Green Zone in Spokane to learn about some great ideas for landscaping and gardening. As the summer months are upon us, the heat is in full force, and just like us, our lawns and gardens need to stay hydrated. But not all landscaping uses a ton of water. Today I'll be joined by Tony Fitzgerald from the Washington State University Spokane County Extension to learn about alternatives to conventional landscaping. It looks like we're in a great area to learn and explore. Now Tony, the first area that we're looking at here is seemingly unconventional because it's a grassy area. So it looks like you wouldn't need to mow or water that much. Is that kind of the reason that people landscape in this way?
A lot of people want grasses like these because they have larger properties or even acreage, and mowing and watering is a problem on those. So these grasses require a lot less watering and mowing than conventional lawn grasses.
And in this area, could you put some native or dryland grasses? And what are native and dryland grasses?
Native and dryland grasses are the ones that were here before it was disturbed for agriculture purposes or development. And you know, if you walk around the natural areas of Spokane or inland Northwest, you just see that the native bunch grasses and dryland grasses. They're called dryland because they can grow, once they're established, they can grow without any additional water or irrigation.
And that's very waterized, and that's really what we're looking for in the goals of the Water Stewardship Program. So when you talk about the native and dryland grasses is in Spokane, can they grow anywhere, or are there certain areas where they can and can't grow?
No, all of our dryland grasses and native grasses can survive on the natural amount of rainfall that comes during the year. So all of these will work. Grass companies, there are a lot of local grass companies, and they have cultivars and varieties that will work in specific situations. The one thing you have to understand though is that you can't just plant them and walk away. You've got to get them in at a time when there's going to be enough irrigation or water to get them established. So fall planting is best. However, if you have to do it in the spring, then do it where you can give them supplemental water the first season to get them established. The other thing you have to be very diligent with is weeding. You have to be very aggressive after those weeds for the first 2 or 3 seasons. Then the grasses themselves can outcompete weeds. Then you don't have to worry about weed control, watering, or mowing.
Now, Tony, what we're standing in front of something here is very unique, and this is a rock garden. So could you just maybe quickly explain, what's a rock garden?
Well, it's simply put an area that has rocks in it, and people have put very drought-tolerant plants in it, so to show off their very interesting leaf shapes and colorful blooms.
Great. Now, it looks like an area that you would do well for perennials or low-growing shrubs. Are those the only types of plants that would do well here?
The thing about all rock garden plants is that they have characteristics in their leaf shape or the morphology of the leaf that conserves water. So you'll find that most rock garden plants, or plants that work best in rock gardens, are ones with very small leaves or fleshy leaves, or leaves with very tiny hairs, and it makes them almost silvery or bluish in color.
Wow.
So they have very interesting leaf shapes. And
it seems extremely appealing and at the same time unconventional to what we're used to in landscaping, but very water-wise. But regarding the rocks that are here, do you need a specific type of rock to have a very efficient and effective rock garden, or could you just choose any rock anywhere?
Right. Well, it's from a design standpoint, it makes sense to use rocks that are indigenous to this area. But, and also natural rock outcroppings. You know, you'll see yards where there's just big basalt outcroppings that people have used for rock gardens. So those are the best ones. But yes, you can bring in any type of rock. It's not required that there's a specific rock that you garden with.
Now what we're standing in front of here is something that I've heard a lot about, and that's xeriscaping. And could you maybe describe what is xeriscaping, or what is a xeriscaping bed?
Well, the word xeric means very dry. A xeriscape is a landscape that takes very dry conditions, but it's also attractive, so it looks nice. A Xeriscape.
And for a Xeriscape bed, it looks like there's a lot going on here, and maybe it was tough to plant here, but could you describe a little bit about how this bed was planted?
Yes, this actually was a gardener's worst nightmare because it was between a south-facing wall and a very hot sidewalk, narrow area, very poor soil. So our WSU Master Gardener volunteers got together and decided this would be a good demonstration of a Xeriscape. They scraped and dug and chipped into this bad soil, added a little bit of organic matter just to get the plants established, and then chose very drought-tolerant or xeric-loving plants. And there you can see there's a variety of them. These are not the only ones that would do well. There's lots of them that do well.
And now you mentioned, I mean, we can see that there's tons of different plants here, and like you said, there are a lot of different Xeriscape plants that you could choose from. Is there a list or a way that you could learn about all these different plants?
There's lots of books and information about xeriscaping. We have lists of drought-tolerant plants at our Master Gardener Plant Clinic. People can request those lists by emailing mastergardener@SpokaneCounty.org.
Well, Tony, in the short time, I have sure learned a lot about landscaping and gardening. And if you would like to learn more about some of the water-wise tips in landscaping and gardening, the Washington State University Spokane County Extension will be hosting 2 water-wise classes, one on September 20th and the other on September 27th. And they are sponsored by the Water Stewardship Program and also the Washington State Department of Ecology. So if you'd like to register, please call 509-477-2048. Tony, thanks so much for having us here. And if you'd like to learn more about the Water Stewardship Program, please visit us online at www.waterstewardship.org.